these people are so important. Every person that we respond to is somebody's dad or somebody's grandfather or somebody's mom, or somebody's husband or wife, and being able to save them through this system is just, it's so rewarding.
There is really only 4 to 6 minutes for somebody who's not getting CPR or getting defibrillated before their brain starts to die. So it's very life or death, and very short term where action is needed.
I mean, every time it's always kind of one of those events that gets your heart racing, because ever since I started in law enforcement, I've wanted to do everything I can to help as many people as I can.
Having that AED just gets us one step ahead.
When I first started, it was very rare that somebody would come back from a cardiac arrest. Now that we've implemented all these changes in AEDs, our cardiac arrest survival rate has gone through the roof, and we want to sustain that. We want to keep that high, and we can't do it without those AEDs and the patrol cars.
AEDs are vital to the whole process, whether it's the small AED units that the police carry, or our monitor here has essentially an AED built into it that we use. We could not revive people without them.
AED stands for automatic external defibrillator, and it's just another tool us as police officers have to try and help out members of our community.
And with cardiac arrest, the faster that you can get that AED on and do CPR, the better.
Yeah, we've had several calls over the last 2 years where the police department has arrived before us and deployed an AED and also started CPR, and so that's made a huge world of difference.
Oftentimes the police can get there a little bit quicker than we can, and for every minute that somebody who is in cardiac arrest has not been defibrillated, their chances go down by about 10%. So the quicker we can get anyone there to put on a defibrillator and get that first shock in, the much better chance of survival that they have.
A number of times we have arrived first on scene just because we are out and about in our vehicles, and so we can arrive a couple minutes sometimes before the fire department does.
And usually we beat the fire department to situations like that, and having that AED just gets us one step ahead.
We had one of my first saves last year, where the Miles City Police Department got there first, shocked the guy. We arrived with the ambulance, were able to shock him a couple more times, and we met him here a few months ago, and he's still living a normal life today.
It is absolutely life and death. That is one of the true medical emergencies. When somebody goes into cardiac arrest, their heart stops, their brain is not getting oxygenated blood supply, and the brain can only last 4 to 6 minutes without oxygenated blood until there's irreversible brain damage. So being able to get that AED on the patient immediately and shock them into a recognizable rhythm that actually perfuses the brain is going to mean the difference between life and death.
Well, that's about as serious a situation as I could think of. Someone's heart is not working like it should, and without fast intervention, that person is likely to die.
Before, our law enforcement officers weren't trained in EMS or CPR, and through help with the state of Montana, through the EMS Bureau, we've been able to put on EMS courses, CPR courses, EMT classes, and then with Janet Trethewey, they were able to use that grant through the Helmsley Foundation to get AEDs and patrol cars. Having them show up first and deploy those AEDs, those patients are coming around a lot quicker, a lot faster.
We went ahead and did CPR classes for the police department, as well as for the dispatchers. So that they can instruct people how to do CPR over the phone before we get there, so we can get that early CPR in, and then obviously the police, so that they can be proficient with CPR and be confident in using the AEDs that they carry in their vehicles.
That's probably the key factor in what makes this work is our fire department here in Miles City. They know that we have these. They are the ones that train us to do CPR and use our AEDs. So without knowing how to work with them, I just don't think the program would be as successful as it is.
There's a lot of things with our AEDs that I wouldn't even know about if it wasn't for the fire department. Like one nice thing about our AEDs is they can hook up their life pack to our AEDs. We don't even have to take the pads off. They can just hook it straight into their machine and, you know, continue doing what they need to do.
I think to start off, it's about public education. You know, trying to get the public educated how critical these AEDs are and getting them in public buildings. We have them in City Hall, we have them in the schools, various public places. But as long as the public knows how critical that is, they're going to support that.
Trying to get the community involved and let them know that there's AEDs around the community, and getting everybody CPR certified as much as possible, even if it's just hands-only CPR. That way, the more people that have that knowledge, the more people that can start that CPR and get that AED on there quickly.
So every officer carries one. We have essentially a go bag, and it just has a bunch of different things. And every shift, when we get a car loaded up, we make sure we have one of those bags in our shift.
The chain of survival is just the very important steps in this whole system, and that is early recognition that CPR is needed, early activation of the 911 system, early CPR, early defibrillation, and then good post-cardiac arrest care.
Our AEDs integrate seamlessly with the ambulance crew's instruments, and so they can unplug it from our handheld unit and plug it into their life pack unit, and it's a pretty seamless trade-off from us right to the ambulance crew once they arrive.
Yeah, we got there on scene. The police officer, one of the Miles City police officers, and a sheriff deputy arrived first. They had a defibrillator in their car. They were able to shock the guy and continue CPR as they happened to be in the area because it was clear across town. Then we arrived and were able to put our monitor on, and we were able to continue CPR, and the guy had a heart rate when we left for the hospital, and today he's out walking around living a normal life.
Yes, we've saved, more than a couple lives to date with the AEDs, and any time that we have deployed it, the fire department's been pretty grateful with the ability to seamlessly take over once we've been there.
I guess I would say to the Helmsley Charitable Trust Foundation that, standing next to a family after their loved one has been brought back to life from one of those AEDs is just one of the most amazing experiences. To see somebody that wouldn't be here, that's here today, and they're hugging their family members and the smiles on their faces, that money is making dividends in people's lives that I don't know if you can really quantify it, but seeing the looks on their faces, I imagine that every penny is well worth.
I just want to say thank you, because the use of those AEDs has already saved lives definitively, and I think that us in the community can't thank you enough for it. I believe that we've been successful because of all the training that we do for ourselves, and also the training that we put out to the community, making sure that the police who also carry them are highly trained in it, and then community members as well being trained in CPR and AED use.
I feel that our program has been successful because we have a number of officers that are trained EMTs, and the direct cooperation between our fire department and our law enforcement.
The training that we do, making sure that we get a lot of training in on CPR, how to coordinate together and work as a team when we get on scene so that everybody knows kind of what their job is and what they're going to do so that it runs smoothly.
I would be happy if every department in the state could achieve these numbers. And then it would be like a challenge to see who can continuously have the highest number of CPR cardiac arrest survival rates in the state. We're very proud of it. We want to see this continue. We don't want this to be just a 2-year fluke. We want this to be 10, 20 years of high cardiac arrest survival rate.
If you have the opportunity to make a difference and help save someone's life, why wouldn't you want to be involved?